Hi, I'm Mr. Bernard. I'm a metalwork teacher in Burnaby, and this video is going to be about how to make a cardboard model of a sheet metal box. And so I've got the finished sample here, so I'm going to run you through the steps required to make that, the box and the lid. The first thing you need to do is decide how big the bottom of the metal box is going to be. When you draw your rectangle or your square, the angles in the corners need to be exactly 90 degrees. So I'm going to cheat. I found this drill case and it's about 6 inches by 3.5 inches. And I'm just going to trace that, and that's going to be the shape of my bottom of my box. There's my rectangle. I'm going to make all four sides attached to the bottom of the box so I don't have any more welded joints than I need when I'm finished with the construction. So the next step is going to be take those four lines and extend them out farther to make the four sides. Okay, so now what I've got is the bottom of my box and the four sides extended out from that bottom. I've got lots of room on this piece of paper, so I'm going to make the sides of my box 2 inches tall. So to make my box 2 inches tall, I'm going to put my ruler on the line and just mark 2 inches there. And then the other side, and then I'll connect those dots. At this point, I've drawn the bottom, which is a rectangle, roughly 3.5 inches by 6 inches. And then I've drawn four sides extending from that bottom. Each side is 2 inches tall. There's 2 inches there, 2 inches there, and so on. When I made my 2-inch marks, I made my mark here and over here. And the reason I made the marks so far apart is because it will make this line a little bit more accurate. If I put the two dots that I put the ruler on close together, then a little error is going to make quite an angle on it. The next thing I need to do is put something called a hem on it. Just like a piece of paper, the edge of a piece of sheet metal is very, very sharp. And if you just made a box with exposed edges, you'd cut yourself every time you use the box. So to prevent that, people put a little folded edge on the tops of the sides. I'm going to make a 1/2 inch hem because it's easy to fold. As you can see, I've laid out the hems on the top edges of all four sides. Those are these lines, and this line is a 1/2 inch away from that line. This is a 1/2 inch, and so on. These are going to get folded over and protect the edge of the sheet metal, much in the same way as the fabric is folded over on the bottom edge of a pair of pants or on the bottom edge of a t-shirt or a sleeve. That protected edge will prevent people from hurting themselves or cutting themselves when they handle the box. The last piece I need to add to this is something called a tab. The tab will allow me to join the side to the side. With the cardboard box, I'll just use glue, but if I was going to make a box out of metal, I could weld or solder those joints. I've drawn tabs, one here, 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 and here. When this gets folded up, this tab is going to get connected to that edge of this side. This tab gets connected to this edge of this side, that one on here, and that one on there. So now the four corners of the box can get joined one to another. The last thing I need to do is cut off the ends of the tabs here, here, there, and there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to join right past these corners like that. Because that's 2 inches and that's 2 inches, this is a 45-degree angle. And I'm just going to connect that and that one there, and it will make nice, neat ends on the tabs and the hems at the same time. There's my completed layout for my box. I've got a 45-degree angle on the outside edges, and I've also done a 45-degree angle in here. To get this angle, what I did is I measured that distance, and then I've measured the same distance going this way, and there's a little mark right here, and I connected that mark with that corner, and that gave me that 45-degree angle. I did the same there, there, and there. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to plan the folds out. Now when you're folding cardboard, you're just using your finger, so it's easy. But when you're using the box and pan brake or the bar folder, you have to fold them in the correct order. So the correct order is going to be to do the hems first. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And the order that you do the hems in doesn't really matter. I can do that one first or that one first. It doesn't matter. The next fold's critical. I have to do this one here and that one there, this one or that one, but they have to be done before these folds. These are the last two here. So I'm just going to number my folds so that you can see what order I'm going to do them in. So now I've got them numbered. The hems are the first ones, 1, 2, 3, actually it says 4, 3, and 4. And then these long ones that will fold the tabs and the sides up at the same time. So I've got 5 and then 6, and then the last two folds are these ones here, 7 and an 8. And I'll fold the box that way when I'm doing it out of cardboard too. So I've cut my box out and now I'm going to fold it. To fold it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my ruler and my thumb. I'm going to hold the ruler there and just going to push the paper up so I get a nice straight fold. I'm going to do all the hems first and I'm going to fold them in the order that I've numbered them. So I folded them all nice and straight, but unlike metal, the cardboard doesn't want to stay folded. So I just put some Scotch tape on those hems and stick them down now. Which is really hard to do one-handed while I'm holding the camera with the other hand. But there we go. Now the next folds are going to be along this line here, 5 and 6, and I'm going to fold the tabs and the sides up at the same time. The way the tools of the metal workshop work, this is important because if you tried to fold this one up first, like so, you wouldn't be able to easily fold the tabs in later. You can see I've got the tabs and the sides folded up on both sides. And then the last fold is going to be to fold these sides up like so, and glue the tabs here to the side there. Okay, so I've finished all the folding, and now what's left to do is to glue these tabs to the sides right there so that it stays in a box shape. Okay, I'm going to make a lid too, and this is pretty much the same process as it was for the box, except for you'll notice that I made the tabs a little bit different, because if I'd done it the way I'd done it for the box, the tabs would just be these little tiny triangles in the corners. So there's my finished box, the lid on it. You'll notice that the tab here is a different shape than the tab there, so I've got enough space to glue. When you make your lid, make it about 3 millimeters bigger than the box. So if your box was, say, 90 millimeters, make this at least 93 millimeters. I made mine a little tight so the lid doesn't come on and off, or doesn't go on and off very easily. Well, there we have a metalwork project that you can actually do at home using no metal. This project's actually really realistic because anytime you want to make something out of sheet metal, it's always a good idea to make a pattern first, and of course the easiest and cheapest material to make a pattern out of would be cardboard. So if I want to actually make this box, creating it out of cardboard the way I've just done, just to test to see if everything fits, is a good first step to make sure that when I actually commit to making it out of a piece of metal, that it actually works. Say I wanted to make a really nice box out of a piece of brass, it would be a mistake to start folding up a piece of brass without knowing that the lid actually fits onto the box. So, I hope you enjoyed this and good luck making your own.